here we start, it's just me, lonely heart. Missing Dave, wondering why he's not here. Don't ask me why. In the park, talking trees, soft whispers through the breeze. But without you, my friend, will the show ever mend? Oh, where's my Dave? Park Talk Radio feels so strange. Just can't brave this empty stage. Feels so strange. Birds singing tales of old, but without you it's cold. Your laughter, your light, turn my dark into bright. Oh, where's my Dave? Park Talk Radio feels so strange. Just can't brave this empty stage. Feels so strange. Echoes in the park, your voice left a mark. Please come back to me, set my heart free. Oh, where's my Dave? Park Talk Radio feels so strange. Just can't brave this empty stage. Feels so strange.
Yes, hello, welcome to Park Talk Radio. It's episode 23, and that's the question of today's episode. Where is my Dave? Where is Dave? Tonight, for you, just me, Bill, your solo host. This is not an e-stop. This is a full-fledged episode, while it may be a bit abbreviated. This is what you have for episode 23. Thanks for joining us and following along. We'll get to the Dave of the subject of the matter here momentarily. But be sure to like us, subscribe, engage, and share what you can. It costs you absolutely nothing. Park Talk Radio available on all your podcast platforms, apps, and applications on the PC as well, including YouTube. That's right, you can get a visual version of the show. There is no video, should I say, but rather it's an audio component available on YouTube, and that's a shout out to our 2 subscribers on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. You can also send us emails, parktalkradio@gmail.com, and send us a voicemail or a text message, 407 I forgot it. Oh my god. 407-490-2220. Yes. Gosh, it's been a while since we've done an episode. But once again, 407-490-2220. Leave us a voicemail. Leave us a text message of your park visit, of a wall of shame, or anything of that sort. So, to the Dave of it all. Recording today, Tuesday, July 9th. Not a normal recording day, nor is this a regular release day. This is releasing as soon as I'm done recording with no editing. And you may have interpreted from the opening theme song, Where's My Dave? Well, it was 4th of July last week, and I hope you all had a great, safe, fun 4th of July. Didn't blow off any of your fingers, didn't say bye-bye to any of those digits. Dave, however, was working crazy long. I, myself, and producer Brennan, the 3 active members of the show, took some time off, took a lot of fun, and just got wrapped up in work and other side items for last week, and thus we did not record a show or have one prepped for you to release yesterday, Monday. So many apologies. Don't worry, Dave and I will be getting back together later this week for a proper episode of your normal length, and with a full dive into numerous topics, as well as the news updates, some park visits, and any announcements that may pop up this week, as we are probably expecting another Halloween Horror Nights announcement here in due time, if not later this week itself on Thursday. Something I would definitely anticipate. We're getting near the beginning of Horror Nights. I mean, yikes, just about a month away will we begin going to the event, and Halloween Horror Nights 2024 HHN 33 will have a proper beginning here on August 30th. The premium Scream Scare Night, early access, limited lines, additional food options included with that ticket starting on August 29th, and then the team member preview will be August 28th. And again, this is all on the Orlando side of it all. With that in mind, Thursday is always a good day for Universal to release some information, and hopefully Dave and I will be able to get together and talk about it through it with you. And since we got 2 houses left, the scare zones and any nighttime entertainment on the Orlando side, I gotta think we're getting relatively close to the end of it all. Or the proper dump of the remaining information, as we call it. So we'll get if it all goes to what we're anticipating, I mean, the speculation has come to a real slog or a pause. I know some of our speculative friends have moved on to what will be offered at Mickey's Not So Scary over on the Disney side of things. Pardon. That's not to say that Halloween Horror Nights is not going to be exciting to see what's left. And as we've talked about in previous episodes, we're really probably looking at the two houses being an Insidious house based off either The Red Door, the movie that came out last year, or was that earlier this year? I cannot remember. And a female-led Monsters, Universal Classic Monsters house mashup, something of that sort. Maybe a tease, probably not, but maybe a tease of Victoria Frankenstein from the new Epic Universe park. More or less, probably your Bride of Frankenstein, your Brides of Dracula, and some possible gender bending of the monsters. Think the rah-rah scene from Avengers Endgame where all the female gendered superheroes get together and they have that big, wonderful moment in the final act, final climax battle of Endgame, and they get together. Still should be rather good. For the Universal Classic Monsters has always been a relatively good house in the upper echelon of the 10 house lineup, and something I still look forward to. I did really enjoy Bride of Frankenstein Lives, where she had captured all the other classic monsters to revive her husband, the creature, Frankenstein's monster, and was trying to sap their energy to bring him back to life as he was killed in the house. Sounds kind of similar to what Dr. Victoria Frankenstein's doing over at Epic Universe in Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment. And also to plug our show within the show, if you've not caught our Dark Universe coverage, check out last episode, episode 22, or check out the e-stop that I personally put together that goes into an in-depth or rated version of the reveal that Universal released back in June. So in that Bride, Victoria Frankenstein's getting the monsters and doing experiments. Bride of Frankenstein Lives gets the monsters doing experiments. Who knows what we're going to see. And then Insidious, again, either the Red Door, capturing the movie and the interior beyond the upside down. I don't think that's it. That's Stranger Things. But the Beyond and the Red Door, the spooky lipstick demon breathing man. It could be either a mashup like a previous Insidious house or focusing on that newest film. Yet to be seen. And then, of course, we got our scare zones. We'll have the entrance pathway right by the main Universal store. Over in New York, the big one. Over in San Francisco by the exit of Fast and Furious Supercharged. And then finally Central Park. We believe the San Francisco exit of Supercharged is going to be something about demonic toys, very similar to what we saw last year, 2023's Horror Nights in Hollywood Scare Zone. And for the remainder of the Scare Zone, something maybe about scary bike riders. Tom Hardy's Bike Riders is out there. And then the entrance by the Universal store, maybe tying into the scary demonic arch that is seen in some of the preview material incorporated in the big like dual pupil eyeballs that have been taking over, and it's the gatekeeper, the actual physical literal gatekeeper archway of Halloween Horror Nights, and the name attributed to this arch is Otis. I'm not really sure why. It was asked on the official Universal Horror Nights Twitter for Orlando, and either the intern or maybe someone from creative that has authority to say this said his name is Otis. Not something that really inspires fear. The fan base has taken it and ran away with it, however, and Otis will be greeting us into the world of Halloween Horror Nights. So Dave and I will, of course, go over that some more later this week. That's what we have at the moment. And there's also a session coming up for the Hollywood side, something they do every year. Just trying to pull it up here. We are the Midsummer Scream, which is a horror convention, and the creative director of Halloween Horror Nights, John Murdy, does go to the panel every year, does some Horror Nights pieces, talking about how he went from a home haunter to pro haunt, and then a main Halloween Horror Nights presentation, which will occur on Sunday, July 28th. He usually will give, if not the rest of the lineup, if it's not been presented yet, at least one house. As we're waiting on a few more in Hollywood relative to Universal Orlando. So we may get something Thursday, we may get the rest of Hollywood at the end of the month. But a lot of announcements yet to come, and the other big one before we jump into what I'm going to talk about for the majority of this episode is the final world of Universal Epic Universe, Harry Potter and the Ministry of Magic, which is the last world that has been yet to be fully revealed over in a proper fashion. June brought us Universal's classic monsters in the form of Dark Universe, and the previous months, of course, were Super Nintendo World, How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, and Celestial Park. And my apologies, on a previous e-stop I said Celestial Gardens, which that was almost the initial plan, but now they want to put the park back in theme park. Celestial Park is what we have here in the center thoroughfare. Leaving us with the Harry Potter world, Harry Potter and the Ministry of Magic, and then the big e-ticket attraction, Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry, or for the Ministry, one of the two. And what we can confirm is Dolores Umbridge is going to be the main villain. They've brought back the actor who portrayed Umbridge in the movies to do some motion capture and filming. And this is supposed to be like nothing you've ever seen before, even crazier than the Dark Universe ride, Monsters Unchained. Harry Potter and the Battle for the Ministry, his ride vehicle has been seen on the highways traveling into Universal Epic Universe. Gigantic, huge box, oversized load, of course. And the permits to what this vehicle can be, very similar to a scoop ride vehicle found in the the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man in Islands of Adventure and the recently closed version in Universal Studios Japan. So it's the scoop vehicle, however, it's a larger size, which means it can accommodate more guests. There will have there'll be more of a verticality to it, as they put pneumatic pistons on the bottom, so it can go up and down several feet instead of being maintained on a single ride path floor, as well as incorporating animatronics, LED screens, and a practical use of the technology to make it seamless transitions, to make it feel like you're actually in the Ministry. It's not a screen-based ride, it's maximizing the technological use of what we currently have and allowing some screens to enhance the practical, physical, and animatronics that will be used inside the land. This is anticipated to have the full reveal on July 31st. July 31st being Harry Potter's birthday in the books. And that falls on a Wednesday. Not normally Universal's release date. We know that's Thursdays. However, why use any other time besides the Chosen One's birthday to reveal his newest entry into the Universal Parks and Resorts experiences than that day? And then we still have many more announcements to come. We still have the Helios Grand Hotel reveal, pricing, and ticketing, as well as your actual Universal Epic Universe ticketing reveal, how you can buy them, what are the requirements, what are the restrictions to it. You may have already seen online, and again, apologies for not being on top of it. We did share some information in our Park Talk Radio group, available on Facebook. Again, you can find all those at Park Talk Radio, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Brennan, our producer, been doing great TikToks and Reels for us the past few weeks. Posted a new one today. The ticketing for Epic Universe may be a bit more complicated and tricky to acquire it if you are interested in going in the opening month or two, let alone the opening day. And we'll jump into that later this week when Dave and I can have a full sit down and talk about it. Not to say that I'm stressed. I'm itching to make sure I'm there. I want to be there opening day. If not opening week, I need to be there. I need to stay in Helios. But don't expect any of that to be cheap or easy to come by. Now, for the main topic this week is something that was announced a little bit ago that does not go into effect until July 28th itself. Is the newest iteration of Disney, both Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort, of their FastPass system. FastPass, MAXPass, Lightning Lane, Genie Plus, individual Lightning Lane, FastPass Plus, regular FastPass, paper, physical, virtual. We got another one, folks. We have another iteration of this damn thing. How can they keep doing this? It doesn't make it any easier to understand. It's really fucking annoying that they keep changing it. And, I mean, short of the long, and we're going to jump into it here on a extended discussion between you and me, this is just FastPass Plus. Like it was years ago, before Genie Plus, before Bob Chapek decided to institute this bullshit, it's FastPass Plus now with a charge. And then it includes individual Lightning lanes still. Well, so let's take it from the top. Let's talk FastPass Plus. Let's talk Lightning Lane, the new name, and let's talk about the individual Lightning Lane, how this all works, how it impacts you, and what changes you can expect and frustrations you will scream out your lungs and want to smash your goddamn phone on the ground as we go to Disney, because, you know, there's nothing more magical or happier than going in, spending a fuck ton of money, and still not doing a goddamn thing that you wanted to do. And I've already made one mistake. This actually begins on July 24th. Lightning Lane will change officially on July 24th. Now, if you're unfamiliar, let's go back a little bit first. If you're unfamiliar with the whole system, and there's some great videos online about the Disney FastPass, Express Pass, Lightning Lane, Flash Pass, Quick Queue, all interchangeable terms that mean the same thing, but work vastly different. Years ago, decades ago at this point, Disney introduced the FastPass system. You would take your physical ticket, as it was all paper, no cell phones, no digital, and you go to the attraction you would want to, get the FastPass for and allow yourself to skip the queue and wait elsewhere in the park or in another line. You would insert your ticket into a physical kiosk. It would spit out a FastPass and say, all right, return between this time and this time, to then experience this attraction in the FastPass queue. You skip the majority of the line, you can go do something else while you wait, eat, shop, do another attraction that has a lesser wait, and then you come back at your designated time. Now, if you if you got something that was very popular, such as a Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, what else was probably Peter Pan, something of those sorts of attractions, the e-tickets are the ones that you would typically see with a long line. If you were not there early and ran to that kiosk to get it, you would then be told it's either out, there's no more fast passes for the day, or if you got there in the morning and you're a couple hundred back in line still, hey, thanks for coming at opening 9 a.m., 10 a.m., whatever. Your attraction is not till 8 p.m. Enjoy. You could not get another fast pass. You could only wait in standby queues until that 8 p.m. callback time. Not always the most efficient, but probably the most fair. Since you could physically go there, you could be first in line. If you really wanted to do something, you could jump in and go do it. If you wanted to do Tower of Terror, you grab the fast pass and then immediately go on the line. You're the first one there. There's no queue. And then you have a guaranteed comeback time to ride it again. So you get a minimum 2 rides of a very popular attraction. Not bad, was interesting and allowed for a fair use of it. And it was free. I think that was the biggest one there for everybody. It was free. And then you start going a bit further down the timeline. You have the introduction of another free version called FastPass Plus. FastPass Plus was utilized on your phone. You download the app, and then depending on where, if you were an annual pass holder, staying on property, or just a day of guest, you had so many days prior to where you could book up to 3 different attractions. And there was different restrictions to this one as well. You can book 3 attractions, but there are different tiers. A very popular e-ticket, like a Tower of Terror, or your Avatar, or over the Disneyland side, Radiator Spring Racers. That's called a tier 1 attraction. You can only have one of those in your pre-booked 3 for the day. And you then get to pick 2 more tier 2s. Once you had utilized one of those, or 2 hours had passed, I'm going from memory, so please give me some leniency. Feel free to scream at me via voicemail. After you use your first one, or after 2 hours have passed, you can then book a second one, or a fourth one rather. You can book an additional fast pass of whatever's left. I don't remember if there's any restrictions to the tiers at that point, but you could book another, and people were able to, maximize the system and be really efficient. You get several, sometimes a lot of them in a day. I've gotten up to 10 in a day before. And this allowed you could go to Park Hop and go to different parks and still get Fast Pass. It was free. Again, free to use. Disneyland, however, introduced MAXPass. This one was $5 or $10 per person per day. And you could do it on your phone. That was the only way to do it in Disneyland. Disneyland continued to use a physical kiosk where you had to go over to the ride, by the exit usually, and get your physical ticket as used in the original Fast Pass. MAXPass added that digital aspect where you didn't have to run around the park, and you got your photo pass included for the day, where every photo you got taken, either with a character, with on a ride, or by any cast member, included with that price, which is already well worth it. Then you add on the pre-booking that you could do on the phone, not have to run around the park, and you would literally be faster than anyone else to get your rides. That was by far my favorite iteration of it. You didn't have to worry about running. You didn't have to worry about getting ahead of somebody, and you got your photo pass. That was $5 or $10 a day. Fast Pass Plus was still free. Physical Fast Pass was still free at Disneyland. It was just an option. Then we keep moving along, and we get to what we ran into the most recent edition of this Express Pass Fast Pass nonsense. Are you keeping up? Again, any questions, feel free to chime in either Facebook or any sort of social. Love to discuss it with you. We then get to what was introduced as Genie Plus and the Lightning Lane. All the Fast Pass queue, the queue signage changed over to Lightning Lane and became Genie Plus. This allowed for variable pricing per day based on how busy a park is. It allowed for variable pricing if you wanted to park hop, and you could have a maximum of 3 Lightning Lanes. And this has seen prices up to $30 per person per day, and you get 3 rides, and I hope you booked them quick, because if they ran out, that's it. And you might get stuck with a Philhar Magic Lightning Lane, or something that's not really worth it, like the Alice in Wonderland Mad Party teacups. Same kind of rules as Fast Pass Plus. So many days booked depending on pass holder, ticket, or if you're staying on property. And then you would purchase it either for one theme park or for your park hopping needs. This also introduced a individual Lightning Lane, or the ILL. This wonderful piece of nickel and diming. You could buy a single Lightning Lane for one ride for one person for one day. And you're looking anywhere between, I think, $12 to maybe $20 or $25. And you would see this a lot for Rise of the Resistance when it first opened. People would pay $20 per person in their family. Average family is about 4.3, 4.5, round up, 5 times 20. That's $100 for one ride for your family to go one time. $100, and you've already paid how much to get in, how much merchandise, and how much food, and etc., etc. It builds up. $100 for one ride. We're going backwards. Back in the beginning of theme parks, they had ticket booklets. And you still see this around some regional parks, or smaller theme parks where you have to buy a ticket to go on a ride, and the bigger the ride or the more exciting the ride, the more tickets it costs. And typically your entrance for these would be free to get into the park or very low. When Disney first opened, it was very affordable to come in. You just have to buy as many tickets as many rides as you want to do. Now you pay a large fee to step inside, pay a large fee to eat, and so on. I'm sure you're keeping up on this exact point financially. So you pay $20, you go ride one ride, and then you maybe get some other good rides in there. You know, Rise of the Resistance would not be on a multi-booking or Lightning Lane or FastPass Plus. You'd have, the only way to get on there through the FastPass queue was to buy it separately. So you paid $25 for your FastPass Plus, Genie Plus. You paid another $20 for your Lightning Lane individually for Rise of the Resistance. And you're staying here how many days? Which brings us to our current and most newest iteration. Starting July 24th, you'll be able to book... Oh, and sorry, that was the other thing. You could not book ahead of time these Lightning Lanes. You could do it the day of. So you either were booking it super early in the morning, just like virtual queues, which is another bullshit little add-on that Disney's doing. You wake up early in the morning, either 5 or 7 a.m., to book your attractions for the day. And that was it. You did it the day of. There's no pre-booking. There's nothing getting ahead of time. So we went from FastPass Plus, where you could book ahead of time, to Genie Plus Lightning Lane, where you could not. And now, here we are. July 24th, you'll be able to book Lightning Lanes before you arrive at Walt Disney World or Disneyland Resort. Genie Plus is going away. The terminology will be now defunct and extinct. Genie Plus will become Lightning Lane MultiPass. Not going to do it. Terrible joke, and everyone else has done it to death. You have the Lightning Lane MultiPass. So let's jump into that first. Lightning Lane MultiPass, formerly Genie Plus service, allows you to purchase for one theme park per day per person. You can choose up to 3 experiences and times in one theme park ahead of your visit. And after using your first selection, you may utilize the My Disney Experience application for availability to make an additional selection. Yes, very similar to FastPass Plus. It's not free though. That's the biggest kick in the shin. Not free. And this is for one theme park. Now, and again, variable pricing based on how busy the projected attendance is, and it's for one theme park. You can add a park hopping option for additional cost, of course. And again, let's say you're going to Epcot. Not a whole lot of attractions right now. Test Track's down. Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind is going to be in that individual Lightning Lane. And then you have the Frozen Ride, Ratatouille, Three Caballeros, Living with the Land, Soarin'. And we'll get into the tiers, but not all of those are going to be available. So Epcot, usually one of the slower parks, not one that's going to have a higher variable pricing. But you want to go to Magic Kingdom later tonight, catch those fireworks. Happily Ever After is going on. You want the park hopper, you're paying that ultimate top tier price. Magic Kingdom's going to be the busiest and most expensive, followed by Disney's Hollywood Studios just because of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And we're talking about just in generalities for the Florida side, since that's where I'm located and what I can easily speak about. You can think about the same, but Disneyland. You get one theme park. If you want both of them, it's going to cost more. Higher pricing, of course, though it's not like you're combining a Magic Kingdom full price multipass to a Animal Kingdom full price multipass. You get a small upcharge. Just like if you got a regular single day ticket for theme park admission and you want the hop, it's not going to be whatever the standard pricing is. So you can do it. You can buy your Lightning Lane. This is it. No more Genie Plus. Lightning Lane, you purchase your multipass, you decide what theme parks you want to hit, and then guests staying at a Disney Resort hotel or other select hotels. They're in Disneyland, I know. They have Good Neighbor Hotels, and they have a similar kind of program here on the East Coast. I don't know the terminology, but you can, if you're staying on property or designated as on property, you can plan your Lightning Lane passes up to 7 days in advance for your entire stay. And that's up to 14 days. If you're staying longer than 14 days, you got to do it all over again. however many days into that particular trip. And again, Lightning Lane MultiPass for your regular rides that are included. You can book 7 days in advance if you purchase it. So you're planning your entire day, or a portion of your day. And if you want those nice fun rides, hopefully you're up at the 12:01 a.m. moment of the 7 days in advance, so you get the early Lightning Lane and you can go do your rides and enjoy the rest of your trip. Those are for the guests staying on property, again, up to 7 days in advance. All other guests can plan up to 3 days in advance. Your day and date tickets, your annual pass holders, and anyone else that is not staying on Disney property. So you see there's that perk, the benefit of staying on property. 7 days in advance versus the 3. Hope you pick a nice day to go if you're local or not staying on property, because you are getting the scraps, what's fallen off the table and what's left ahead of you. A lot going on so far. So now let's jump into your Lightning Lane, what is known as a single pass. That's formerly the individual Lightning Lane. And you don't need both of these services to have one or the other. You can pick one, you can pick the other, you can have both. Single pass, individual Lightning Lane. This is for those highly desired attractions that have virtual queues basically still. Single pass, you can purchase up to 2 selections per day in advance for some of our most highly demanded attractions, such as the ones with virtual queue: Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind, and Tron Light Cycle Run. We'll jump into it in episode 24. Producer Brennan and I were able to get 2 different virtual queues earlier this week to ride Tiana's Bayou Adventure for the first time. Park Visit will capture in further discussion. And then for Brennan's first time, Tron Light Cycle Run. Gotta say, virtual queues, still a pain in the absolute ass. It's very difficult to get. Tiana's is going to be a limited time offering while the initial buzz and newness of opening this attraction refurbishment dies off. However, Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind, and Tron Light Cycle Run, expect them to still be on virtual queue. You can buy what was formerly known as the individual Lightning Lane for the Lightning Lane newly anointed single pass. Again, that's going to be variable pricing, probably $10 to $20 or $25 if it's real busy, and you get you one ride. I mean, the short and long, if you don't want to keep going. The difference between this and the Genie Plus service, you can book things ahead of time. Still costs money, still is going to be hard to get those fun attractions if you're doing the multi-pass, and it's still going to be a pain in the ass if you want the individual attractions or individual Lightning Lane, now known as single pass. So let's break it down a little bit further. Here's how Lightning Lane passes will work beginning July 24th. When you purchase Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, you can make up to 3 Lightning Lane selections in a theme park in advance of your visit. 3 days if you're not staying on property, 7 if you're staying on property. You'll also be able to choose available times as you make your selections. Something I didn't touch on immediately prior was you were just kind of given a time, and you had to keep refreshing the app on FastPass Plus if you wanted something else. Here, it looks like you'll get some different time options and you get to pick and plan your day a little bit more easily. On the day of your visit, once you use a selection, check the My Disney Experience app for availability to make an additional selection. Does not say there's a maximum. However, they're going to go quick as the day progresses and more people will continue to use their multi-pass. Things are going to get scooped up. It's in your best interest to get there early, plan ahead as far as you can, and just start burning through rides and your Lightning Lanes if you can afford it and you enjoy your theme park to be theme park visits to be fast paced and just go. Again, Lightning Lane Single Pass will work very much like it does today. We can secure a time to ride, one of the most highly demanded attractions. However, unlike Genie Plus individual Lightning Lane, you can make your purchase and plan in advance. How? Thanks, Disney. Thanks for letting us purchase in advance. I'm just so happy to throw money at you faster. Disneyland Resort will use the multi-pass and single pass starting July 24th. There's no change to how guests will redeem it. It's just a name change. So there's some more information. No more 120-minute rule. You can hold with 3 lightning lanes at a time. Oh, and here's one that is actually interesting. I think that's a good positive for this multi-pass kind of thing. The ride tiers in multi-pass only apply to pre-booking. No tiers when doing same-day lightning lane bookings. So when you pre-plan and you pre-book your multi-pass, excuse me, your multi-pass lightning lanes, you can only do 1 attraction from tier 1 and the other 2 from tier 2. And I'm going to get into those next. Once you're in the park and you've utilized your pre-booked lightning lanes, you can get on to another exciting ride if it's available. It's highly unlikely. That's why they're in tiers, because those tier 1s are going to go fast. If it's, however, available, you're not doing too bad. If you can get through a couple rides of those tier 1s, you're going to have a pretty good time there. So let's jump into those tiers. Magic Kingdom, the one with the most attractions, your tier 1s at the moment of launch, July 24th. You can choose up to 1 experience from the tier 1 group. In tier 1, you have Big Thunder Mountain. I say that's good. Jungle Cruise, not something I would typically use on. However, the queue and the wait times for this has been absolutely dreadful. 60 plus minutes. Typically, you're seeing 75 to 80. If you really enjoy the Jungle Cruise, this might be one for you. Peter Pan's Flight. Ugh. A short, low capacity, dark ride, pseudo omni mover. This thing just does not take guests very quickly and is not something I would wait the 75 average wait time for. If it's something you really enjoy, shoot, go ahead. Again, Big Thunder Mountain's probably going to be the best pick so far. Moving on, you have Space Mountain. I know this one's always highly enjoyed and very much wanted, so that's another great option. And then Tiana's Bayou Adventure. At the moment, they only have the virtual queue. It's a refurbishment. I'm not getting into the controversy. You either want to do it or you don't. For me, I'm picking Space Mountain out of the 5 here in Tier 1. Jungle Cruise and Peter Pan, not going to be a selection for me. Of course, very family to family. And if you actually buy this damn thing. And now, for Tier 2, you can choose your other 2 experiences if you picked one from Tier 1. Or you can use all 3 of your pre-book multi-pass lightning lanes here in the 2nd tier. Barnstormer, Kids Roller Coaster, Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, Omni Mover, 2 to 3 per vehicle. No. Dumbo the Flying Elephant. You know, they added the entire 2nd carousel for this. They've doubled the capacity. It still takes a while to get loaded as it's catered to the littles. Depends on your family. Haunted Mansion, high capacity Omni Mover. I don't know. It's a Small World, high capacity boat ride. Probably not. See, and this is where it really gets frustrating because you feel relegated. You feel like, well, I spent the $25. I spent the $100 for 4 of us. I'm going to ride some fucking rides. Mad Tea Party, Spinning Teacups. When's the last time you've seen this ride at over a 5-minute wait? Hell no. Magic Carpets of Aladdin. Similar to Dumbo, but with Aladdin carpets and not nearly as exciting or enjoyed. Again, 10-minute wait. Winnie the Pooh, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, I could definitely see a case for that. Mickey's PhilharMagic, don't you dare waste your time or money. Monsters Inc. Laugh For, don't you dare waste your time or money. Pirates of the Caribbean can be a bit of a wait. Not one that I've ever seen, or not one that I would ever wait in. And let me go back real quick. You know, Jungle Cruise, Peter Pan, Haunted Mansion. If these particular ones in Pirates have exceptionally long lines, and this is your first visit, of course, please go check out some of the stuff that was envisioned by Walt. If you're going for a multi-day trip, maybe get Lightning Lane multi-pass one day and knock out some good stuff. And then finally, Tomorrowland Speedway and Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid. Again, a lot of high capacity stuff. From the tier 2, I'd probably focus on Haunted Mansion, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, there's 3 right there. Your single pass attractions over at Magic Kingdom are going to be Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which is always long as can be, and then Tron Light Cycle Run, which is a virtual queue. If you want guaranteed entry, get that Lightning Lane. All right, let's start speeding through some other ones. Epcot. As mentioned, Soarin's closed. Your tier 1s at Epcot. Frozen Ever After. Always a long wait. Frozen's popular. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, one of the newest attractions. Again, very popular. And then Soarin' Around the World. Popular attraction. You got it right next to Living with the Land, and you're picking Soarin' over that. Reassess. However, Soarin' definitely eats a lot more guests than Frozen or Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. I think there's a clear one not to pick from it. Tier 2s, Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival. No. Never a wait. 0 minutes. You just gotta wait for the next showing of the film to start up. Journey into Imagination with Figment, again, not a highly regarded ride. There are some diehards. I like Figment. I don't like this iteration. Living with the Land, super high capacity, best ride in the entire park. Use it here. Mission Space, not a thoroughly enjoyed ride due to the G-forces experience and the claustrophobic nature of the attraction. Think about it. The Seas with Nemo and Friends, high capacity dark ride. Spaceship Earth, probably not. And then if you want to use Die Hard to have the Turtle Talk or Crush experience, you have that option, because Epcot doesn't have a whole lot to offer. They're taking away Lightning Lane for shows unless it's a show attraction, such as there's Turtle Talk or PhilharMagic. That's what we got. Individual Lightning Lane here. Guardians. Give me a second. I've been talking for too damn long. Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind. So, $20 there if you want to ride the good ride in Epcot. Test track's closed for the time being. Once it reopens, expect that to be a tier 1. Disney's Hollywood Studios. Probably the most challenging one here to pick from, since your tier 1s are some of the best. Though there is a good, I'll say there is some goodness to the Hollywood Studios tier 2s. Tier 1 has all your newest rides and some with the some of the lower capacity. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Producer Brennan's going to be blowing her tier 1 right on that. Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, the lesser of the two Star Wars Galaxy's Edge rides. Almost caught myself when I said the worst of the... Well, it is the worst of the Star Wars rides at Hollywood Studios. What about Star Tours is way better. Rock and Roller Coaster just reopened. Has a bit of a wait. Could go down at any time. And then Slinky Dog Dash. For me, I'm picking probably Mickey and Minnie or Rock and Roller Coaster for tier 1. Those are, I wouldn't say objectively the best, but definitely the better ones for me. Smuggler's Run is fine. Usually a shorter wait these days. Not worth that tier 1 usage. And then Slinky Dog Dash. Always a long wait, low capacity, and very popular with adults and children alike. Tier 2s, Alien Swirling Saucers, your ass. Beauty and the Beast live on stage. Don't use it on these shows, please. Disney Junior Play and Dance. No, no, no. For the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration. Do not do it. Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. See, we've gone through 4 now. Besides ass, you have 4 shows. None of which require a lightning lane. Muppet Vision 3D. Another show. Never has a wait. Never has capacity. Star Tours The Adventures Continue. Now, possibly this can get a little busy, especially on a Star Wars weekend, or May the 4th, Revenge of the 5th. Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. This one can get lengthy despite the large elevator chambers. And then, of course, Toy Story Mania. Mania. I think it's really cool because before you'd have Tower of Terror, Toy Story Mania in a tier 1 of the FastPass Plus. Relative to that, Slinky Dog wasn't open. I don't think they definitely didn't have Mickey and Minnie. And Star Wars Galaxy's Edge might not have been kicking while FastPass Plus was going along. So having Tower of Terror and Toy Story Mania are great options here in the tier 2. And then your individual lightning lane will be Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, of course. Again, very popular. Those single pass attractions, when they were ILL, individual lightning lane, sold out every day. Cosmic Rewind, sold out. Tron, sold out. Well, not so much Tron anymore, but Rise of the Resistance, when they opened, they would sell out. And then finally, over at Animal Kingdom, again, not a whole lot of attractions. There is no tier system at Disney's Animal Kingdom. You may be asking why. Why isn't Avatar Flight of Passage your tier 1? Well, because that's the only tier 1 attraction they have. Now, I would argue Dinosaur Expedition Everest, Tier 1 attractions. Avatar Flight of Passage, and we'll start this one backwards. As there's no tiers at Animal Kingdom, Avatar Flight of Passage is your individual lightning lane, your single pass attraction. $20, go ride the breathing Banshee. Not my ride. I'm certainly not waiting 4 hours again for it. That's your option though, folks. And then everything else is going to be available. You use all 3 experiences here for the multi-pass at Animal Kingdom, Dinosaur, Expedition Everest. Good rides, great rides. Check out Dinosaur before the end of the year, probably closing. Feathered Friends in Flight, a show. Do not need to use it. Festival of the Lion King, folk. You might need to use it here, depending on when you go. Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond. Excellent stage show, musical. Probably don't need it there. It's tough to be a bug. That is leaving an indeterminate amount of time. They've already said Zootopia is going to replace it. And with D23 happening August next month, we might get a bit more than that. Tough to be a bug. Probably don't need to use it unless you're going on the last day. Kali River Rapids, if it's hot, yeah. Kilimanjaro Safari, great use of your lightning lane here. Always a long wait. The premier attraction of the park. And then Navi River Journey can be a long wait. Not what I would say is a good ride, but definitely an option. And it again, I think Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, you got your best bets as far as what you'll get done, what you be getting your return on investment for your multi-pass, and you have an option for what can be considered a good ride for your single pass usage. Magic Kingdom, they're going to go quick, they're going to go fast, it's the most popular park. Epcot, there's not a whole lot going on these days. So that's kind of what we have here for your new Lightning Lane, multi-pass, and single pass. And some other things to note, when these changes take effect on July 24th at Walt Disney World, in the past and previous to this change, character meet and greets were used and listed as Lightning Lane experiences. That won't be the case once this takes effect. Something you gotta keep in mind. If you're going and love the characters, hey, all the power to you. You're waiting in line. You're not getting Lightning Lanes, you're not utilizing that for those. If you also want to modify your pre-booked Lightning Lane multi-pass from one park to another, as you can do that, you can modify it, but you need to pay a difference if the new park is more expensive. For example, if you booked Animal Kingdom and you want to change your pre-booked multi-pass to Magic Kingdom, you're going to pay the difference, right? Same thing if you want to change it to a different day. If the day is projected to be busier, you're going to pay more to do that. Another terrible caveat. You can only do this pre-booking, you can only do this pre-purchasing if you reside in the US or Canada. International guests, sorry. Hope you get here early. 7 days earlier, so you can then buy it the day of while you're there at the hotel on property and then book them. Because otherwise you're fucked. You get nothing. And then the way it works with park hopping, you have to first use pre-book your 3 Lightning Lane in one single park. Once you redeem the first one, you can then book another Lightning Lane in any park. If you book 3 Magic Kingdom, use your first one at Peter Pan because you just love it. Feel free to book it across any other park at any other tier. Your only things you cannot get will be those single pass attractions. Rise of the Resistance, Avatar, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Cosmic Rewind, Tron. So again, this will be flex-based pricing. For the multi-pass, you will get to choose your party, how many people you're with, who's going with you. You pick the rides and the times, and then you make your purchase, which is great. You get to see what you're doing and get to lock in what you will be experiencing, and they'll hold the selections for up to 5 minutes. Then you will pay. Then you will pay after you've locked it in. So you aren't just buying it and hoping you're good to go. You get to see it beforehand and know what you are actually paying for, which is a nice little quality of life. Those other select hotels are the Dolphin, the Swan, Swan Reserve, and Shades of Green over in Walt Disney World. Something you also can't do is ride the same attraction multiple times. You get once per attraction. You can only get one Lightning Lane or for the multi-pass, and you cannot while you can experience 2 attractions with the single pass, it cannot be the same one. And finally, I think I can close up here for our West Coasters and for me who enjoys going to the West Coast. There's no, you have all these tiers that I've been explaining and how you can only pick 1 from here, 2 from here, or whichever the levels are. No changes to tiers. There's no tier introduction over at Disneyland Resort, Disneyland, and California Adventure. It's just a name change. You're going from Genie Plus Lightning Lane to individual Lightning Lane to multi-pass and single. So that's what you got. What you can do for those virtual queue rides, Tron, Guardians, you can ride it twice. If you get the virtual queue with Guardians in the morning and then buy the Lightning Lane to accompany it, and you can start booking these effective July 24th. So you cannot go 7 days back. It starts on the 24th. Everyone's on the same field, and good luck. So that is what I got for you. That's my big dive into it. It's really challenging and frustrating that as pass holders, there's not something included. You don't get 1 free booking for the day. You don't get 1 free something. You pay for the pass, and if you want to have a chance to ride these rides, because Disney really focuses getting that express queue kicked through first prior to, or the FastPass Lightning Lane queue first prior to the standby. So pass holders, locals, if you're going for the day, if you don't buy it, you're just going to hope the line's short, and that just sucks. It sucks that I have to pay, the Pirate Pass, which gets you the weekends. It's the second lowest pass with the most blockout dates outside it. I got to pay $800, and then if I want to go when it's busy, when my pass allows me to go, got to pay more. It's just not fun. It's really frustrating that I got to shell out so much money to do the rides that I'm coming to ride, and it sucks. It just really does. But that's where we're at. The DAS Pass, whole nother issue. May or may not qualify it. Just enjoy waiting for the fucking line, and I hope we can get some changes in the future in either this Lightning Lane multi-pass bullshit or something with the DAS. For the most part, this is FastPass Plus with a $sign in front of it, and it just sucks. I won't be buying it. I tried to go on Tiana's on opening day. I didn't get the virtual queue, and it was just it. You're just fucked. I just wanted to go and enjoy the opening day electricity and the excitement from the crowd around me, and I was prepared to wait 6, 7, 8 hours for it. Nope, no virtual queue. Fuck off. And I really just don't want that to be the future, and that's something I'm worried about for Epic Universe when it opens. The virtual queues, probably not. They don't have the foundational software in place to do it. I mean, I guess they do. I mean, Hagrid's, for a brief amount of time, ran on virtual queue when they were still getting some of the technical challenges fixed or adding more trains to the occupancy. But that's where we're at. Hopefully it doesn't get as scary as I think for Epic. Hopefully Disney gets some changes coming in and we can enjoy some more rides and some new parks. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you for joining us in abbreviated episode. Sorry where Dave is. Where's my Dave? Where's my Dave? And that's what we got. We'll be back. Regular scheduled episode planned for this Monday, July 15th, my birthday. That will drop. Dave and I will record later this week and go over park visits, some other news that's popped up. I got a bunch of news stories already queued for him and I to go over. And of course, some announcements if they got some Halloween Horror Nights for us coming this Thursday. Be sure to, again, like, subscribe. No wall of shame Easter. That's a Dave and I kind of thing. I don't need to just talk to you about myself, about people that make me mad, but man, there's some annoying motherfuckers out there these days. Wear your deodorant. That's what I say. Take a shower. You should not be walking into the park smelling like butt ass as soon as we get going. It's the beginning of the day. What did you do? Leave us voicemails, text messages, 490-2220. And emails, parktalkradio@gmail.com. Like the page, join the group, Park Talk Radio on Facebook, and all your podcasting needs and social medias at Park Talk Radio. Add us, like us, subscribe us, engage, and share us. It costs you nothing, and we're so happy to have you with us. Thanks for having a great time for episode 23. Hopefully we can find Dave somewhere out of the trenches of the 4th of July mess. And we'll see you. Hold on, getting the closing song. We'll see you in the park. Bye!